Thanks for tuning in to D2 Wrenchworks and DIY, guys. Today's video, I have a really good DIY tip for you here. How to take something like this, disgusting and dingy and full of dirt and rust and grease and everything else, that once actually used to look like this with a very nice mirror polish when it was new. I'm going to show you how to make it look like that again. Now today's project are these Dura Ace crank arms. And as you can see, I mean, this is some high-end aluminum too. Somehow it's, you can see it really good on this right crank arm. It's got dirt embedded everywhere, all along, and there's no shine to it. There's no luster. You probably wouldn't believe that these are the highest end cranks you could get in the bicycling world because they look like junk. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through this quick hand polishing setup. You look on detailing channels on YouTube, they're going to tell you, buy this, buy that, spend a ton of money. I'm going to show you how to do it with just stuff you got sitting around. Maybe your buddy can loan you a couple things. It's a really great winter project. And the one I have here, I'll show you here in a clip. It looks excellent. It has a beautiful shine to it. And it didn't take me, more than probably 30, 40 minutes setting it all up. And, sometimes it's hard to get in the weird crevices and all of that. But I'm going to show you how to do that right now. First thing you're going to need, a drill, any basic drill. As you can see, this one's actually got a zip tie for the switch on it. It's a piece of junk Walmart drill, but I've had it for like, I don't know, 6 years or something, and it won't die. So just goes to show you don't need anything super expensive to do something like this. Again, leftover stuff anybody will have sitting around more than likely. Actually, I used it to build this coffee table right here. 320 disc sand grit. This is actually extra fine. It really doesn't matter if you just get plain 320 or whichever. I mistakenly got extra fine. It seems to work. So that's going to be your first step, is get the sandpaper. My favorite thing to use here too, Meguiar's car polish, and this is 83 and this is 105. 105 is your ultra cut. This is going to be like the heavier. It's going to take out a lot of the nasty stuff, and you follow it up with the finer cut. You can go even finer. You actually see Meguiar's has a cool scale for you. The heavy cut at the top, the finest polish at the bottom. This is somewhere in the middle, and you can see the 105 is at the maximum. So you could go all the way through, all the way up to 3000 grit sandpaper if you really wanted to get like super crazy mirror polish. Oh, our supervisor over here, Bear, he's being disturbed. We gotta be careful. Gotta make him happy. So, like I said, you could go up to 3000. I don't think it's necessary just for a budget little winter project. Keep yourself busy. Use some stuff you got sitting around. Add some new life to some cool stuff. And lastly, what you're going to need is these little odd drill bit things. I'm pretty sure you can get them at Harbor Freight. I bought these off of Amazon in just like a bulk buy. I don't know where the rest of them went. But you can tell they've all been used, and it gets a little messy because you're using a drill and wax, but they work excellent. This piece over here that I've done, with the mirror polish, it came out really, really nice, and it didn't take me, I'd say, more than 30 minutes or so. Just, you want to make sure you have a good speed on the drill. Try to get a bunch of that stuff out of there as best as you can, and just stick at it, Just keep going, keep moving, and you'll be impressed. For such a small amount of things that, didn't cost me any money. This is all leftover stuff. It's a really good way to, motorcycle, motorhome, you name it, car. Maybe you got a hot rod with a bunch of aluminum parts, and as you can see, dirt gets embedded all over the place, and it just looks like crap. So I'm going to show you how to make your stuff look like new again, and do it very quickly. Alright, so actually, as you saw in the beginning, I have this disgusting towel. This is my shop towel. I use it for stuff like this all the time. Highly recommend you do the same, because as you can see, this wax is going to get a little messy. I'm going to start with my disc piece here. This is a little bit harder, and this one's a little bit softer, so I'm going to use this on the lesser, finer car wax polish, and this one on the heavier, that's going to cut more. But the first thing we got to do, you got to go all over this with sandpaper. So I'm going to probably use one on each side a piece, I'm going to guess. Always got to try to clean all this old junk out. Like I said, I didn't wash these, but I will after this. You can always just toss these and your towel and all that in the wash. Now, you don't want to forget, do put on gloves. These would be good, but these also soak up the aluminum, so get all in your hands. It's going to get very, very messy, so that's my advice to you. Put some gloves on. Alright, so first thing, like I said, sandpaper. Alright, and let's get to work. I'm going to make it time lapse as fast as possible. So, less talking. Okay, so pause. I knew I was going to talk that much. You know, if you do have one of these and you're doing a flat surface like this and not something like the stem I showed you earlier with all the curves, that little piece, use your hand sander. Duh. Save yourself some energy and some time. Although you can see, you know, it's already looking much better compared to how this other end looks. So don't give up. You know, if you do have to hand sand, it's not that bad. Just for video's sake. Alright, back to work. Alright, so this isn't too bad. It looks pretty good actually. I was hoping to get a little bit more of this heavy pitting out. A little easier right here too. I don't want to take the stamping off of here with the part number and the length of this crank. That's pretty important, and it's not engraved very deep. So on this one I'm just going to stop here. Like I said, it looks way better. And I'm going to save this for the heavier cut polish right here. And I think this is going to clean this up much better, and then we'll fill it up with the fine stuff I talked about earlier. And we're going to switch over to this one with a fresh piece of paper. This one, if you could tell, I was, you know, obviously going by hand. And it's pretty slam worn out for, you know, fine grit paper. They don't last super long. I could have really gotten like maybe a 500 to help out a little bit, but like I said, I'm trying not to spend any money, so this is what we got. And also, this is like a Skill 5-inch or 4.5 or something like that disc sander. A lot of the time this Velcro part breaks right here, and actually I have a video showing you how to repair this with an Amazon part pretty cheap. So I believe I got this one $5 without the bottom, actually brand new at Lowe's. Think about it, if you want to go ahead and buy yourself one of these, it saves you a lot of money. They're awesome for projects. Use it to sand this whole table down. So here we go. That's what a spent piece of paper should look like right there. Obviously when I did this one I used up a fair amount by hand in the beginning, so it shows you how much better you know, how much better the hand sander does, and it saves you a lot of time. Pretty happy how this comes out with just one piece. I might touch this up a little bit more after I'm going to go over this with a fresh piece, touch this up, get these edges out, you know, here on the corners, on the corner down here. Maybe a little bit more on the back side right there, but we'll see how it goes. Not bad. Came out much better than I was hoping. Still got a little bit of the heavy pitting down here. I might have to get a little bit better grit to clean this up as much as I'd like to. But we'll see what the polish does. You can see the ends of it look real nice. That one little spot kind of bothers me, but it's on the inside. It mounts like this on the bike, so that's all you really see. But yeah, so there you go. That's where you want to get it to, nice and the best you can, sand it out. Get all that yucky stuff out of the way. And I'm going to hit this one more time, and then we'll move to polish. Alright, now for the polish. Let's see how we can make these shine. Maybe it doesn't look that much better yet, and I think it looks a whole lot better. I don't know how much you can really see on camera here, but try to pick everything up with your rag there, or your tool here. Soak it up like a rag. Spread it all around. Just go real nice and slow. Try to soak your rag, pick up all the wax you can. Alright, and off we go. So I just wanted to do a little test. That's actually with the 83 I used first, just to show you if you only have ability to get to 1, or that's what you got. I mean, for starting out, you could already start to see it's got a little shine to it right there. But I'm going to go ahead and skip to the cut, the heavy cut right now. I just want to see how that would work and go ahead and get my little tool a little nice and wet there. And back to work. Oh boy, you could already tell it's starting to look awesome. You could tell a huge difference though between using the lighter cut and using the heavier cut compound right here. Big, big difference. Save you a lot of time too. Also, if you do use these tools, I did forget to mention this. Where this piece is that it mounts up on, this metal rod here, you want to try to wrap that in a rag or something. I don't know what you have, but I highly suggest you wrapping it, because you don't want to put a nice huge scratch into your beautifully polished piece if you slip, like I almost just did then. Alright, there we go. Trimmed it up a little bit. You could already see the nice shine starting to come up super easy. Pretty impressive. I'm actually really surprised it's taking a lot of the pitting out. So you don't really have to worry too much about sanding it out like I was before. It's actually, a lot of pressure and RPM on the sanding disc to try to get all those pits out, and this tool and the wax does it much, much better if you ask me. I mean, you can't be mad at that, man. That looks pretty damn good. Still some pitting I want to get out, like here. That piece has a little too. All right, back to work though. Alright, so I think I'm going to pause on this one. Wipe up all my extra wax here. It looks really good. I'm really happy with the way it's turning out right now. I will switch to this softer brush and polish to get the little stuff out. But, I mean, for, you know, this is a great improvement. It is kind of a pain if you don't have a real workstation to hold it, but nah, you know, it's not that bad. So now let's make the big one look real good. You can see a huge difference here. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the way this looks right now. That's pretty much the end of my heavier brush and my heavier wax. The little end bit of here, really I'm not worried about. It's kind of beating up my brush and it's hard to get in there. This is actually... Okay, so sorry, I just had to switch to my actual personal phone. I was saying the bike is going to be mounted, like, it's going to be mounted against the middle of the bike, the bottom bracket they call it, so I'm not too worried about this. It'll actually, this is some baked wax, it'll actually look a lot better. I'll hit it with a plastic brush and get a lot of that out of there. I'm going to do the same thing for the lettering, get the plastic brush inside of there and get all that wax out of there, and it will look nice and polished up like the rest of it. I didn't realize that my normal video device is cut me off again, but I did start just barely with this brush, and you could see, I mean, from the beginning of the video, this thing was pretty much like that, red with a little haze to it, and just going across this and around the edge, you know, hitting these little legs and around the lip here, it picked up all of that with the finer with the finer compound here. So I'm gonna keep at it. You know, it's I basically want to get it as clear as possible, get all of these little, you know, flecks or whatever it's called in here out of it. And I'm going to call it good after that. But you could see, you know, this one's a lot more dark spots in it. And I didn't go over this one, you know, with the lighter brush and the lighter polish. So let's get back to work on that and make these things shine. Alright, this is pretty dirty now. You can actually see I'm pushing pretty hard trying to move it, and it's pretty much so full of wax and dirt, it's just compacted down from the drill spinning. So now I'm going to switch to like my little mother's Powerball rip-off deal here and keep at it. And then I'm going to move over to this one, and then we'll be done. I think I'm going to stop there on this one. Still have some tiny, it's actually what looks like pitting. I'm guessing this is from sweat. Aluminum doesn't rust, but sweat forms some kind of like electrolysis with aluminum. But we'll see here, look. You can still see a little. Still got a nice little mirror finish to it, you know. Much, much better. Now, if you did want to try to get those little tiny spots out, right here, for example, you could just keep going even further and further with lighter sandpaper, like I was mentioning, the 3000 grit and everything ahead of time. But I'm going to call this one good. 1,000 times better. And we're going to skip to this one now. final result. They are probably like, I would say 95, 96%. You know, you could go a little bit further and make it perfect, but there's actually, I could see myself right now, you know, there's a fairly good mirror polish on it. You know, these things are probably, I don't know, 15 years old or something like that. They're quite old. So it's just great to bring life back to them. You know, I'm probably about an hour and a half or so into this. It's, you know, if you want to spend another 30 minutes and you had a little bit more product, you could just wet sand the rest of this and go back over it with some light polish again, some lighter polish. Oh boy, I'm dirty. So that's pretty much it. You know, I hope this does help you guys. Check out the pictures. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. I'm almost at 300 subscribers, and I really thank you for your time. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to, you know, get out there, have some fun on your bike after you do this kind of work too. Take care. Bye.